All right, y'all, we back. Chubb once again for a new episode of Truth for Myself. So today, y'all see me in the back brace. It's one of them type of days, you know what I'm saying, where I still gotta kind of deal with this body, you know. And for those who do know, you know, when it comes to pain and breaks in the body, weather, pressure, all these things tend to cause the body to react a little funny, which is why I got my little RoboCop legs on today, which is my little leg compressors. But for the most part, if you don't know who I am, my name is Chubb, aka Chubb the artist, Chubb Raps. To those who know me from my music career, Chubb Inks. For those who've been getting tattoos from me for the last decade, and now Chubb Flying Blue Skies. For those who've been learning how to do forex and trading, the current exchange market, foreign exchange market with me, dealing with currencies, cryptos, stocks, and all those things. Now, but this, what you're looking at now, is called The Truth for My Son. The reason why it's called The Truth for My Son, because what I'm doing is telling the truth about what happened to me. But not only just to share what happened with me so I can tell my own story, but so other people can know how to handle their own situation and also how to dodge people like this, or even these same people themselves, to be aware of how they move and what they may do to you. Because some people feel like, yeah, man, like, maybe just don't say nothing about it. Nah, there's some people you gotta learn, bro. You can't just leave alone. You can't just lay your hands on. Like, you really have to pay attention to these people, because if you don't, they gonna get you, and they don't care how they get you. All right. So, with that being said, if you didn't go look, I just shared the last 12 pages of the custody order that was put in place March 3rd, March. Be sure, because I don't want to say nothing wrong, because people like to be real finicky about things. I don't want to be sure, you know, because some of this stuff I really kind of take my eyes and mind off it. But yeah, March 22nd, 2023. Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about? It's right there. It's right there. So if you want to see this yourself, and you want to go see what happened, what I'm talking about, I put all of the pages right here so you can see yourself. Anything I felt was too much information, I blocked. But once again, you gotta say, it's kind of weird that me being a father facing off with my mother and my child's mother is something weird, right? Not to mention, the first one showcases that it was me and my mama going against my baby mama. Yeah. So let's make it make a little bit more sense, right? Let's make it make a little bit more sense. And I think I can help with that. Because I got the facts. I got all the facts. You know, I got to keep up with all the facts. I have to keep up with all the facts, because if I don't, these same people who lie into the outside world and trying to get them to believe some outlandish situation would have had me in jail a long time ago. So when I showcase stuff like the original court order from 2012, from 2012, that was started 2009, that'll give you just a little bit of insight on what's been going on, because you see here, it's me and my mother versus my child's mother, right? From 2009, and it was confirmed 2012, right? So how we go from that in 2009, 2012 to now 2021 going to 2022, it's now me versus my mama and my baby mama. And so finally they pulled her off. Like, how does that make sense, right? How does that make sense? Then finally she bows out after all of this other stuff, and y'all heard the conversation, if you are keeping up, that she supposedly dropped out of the situation, right? She was not supposed to be involved anymore, because this is the final order. But yet and still, she keep doing stuff. She keep putting her hands in everything. So I'm here to address the truth, because there's so much people who don't know what happened, who's still trying to act on which they think happened, right? And that's the type of people I gotta bring truth to, because so many people are going to consistently try to get their emotions involved in something they don't know nothing about. And that's why I'm telling my own story for what it really is and not what somebody wants you to think it is, right? But also, I come with facts. I come with paperwork. I come with video. I come with recorded conversation. You know why? Because the police tell me, just like I'm about to tell y'all, if you ain't got no hard evidence or no proof, it's always gonna be your word against theirs, right? But I'm also grateful that I am now in the time and the position to where I can share my story without somebody saying, well, that's all probably all AI, because that's the wave we on now. That is the wave that we on. Literally just had a conversation with one of my peoples tonight and was like, yo, they just had to out this girl for trying to make something on AI to make it look like somebody said something to her that was and in reality it was all fake. What? You know how much more people are going to do that to try to incriminate somebody, or that's going to try to build some clout on something that ain't even real? You talking to somebody who been already living through that. So imagine how many other people who have gotten caught up, who have been in a position to where it's like, yo, did you know so-and-so did this? And then a friend of that person be like, man, that ain't happen like that. She lying. Well, why he in jail? Because she get the cousin and the uncle and the auntie and the little sister and everybody to help her lie on something that she know wasn't true. And that's the thing that be hitting me. That's what be hitting me. Because, like, if I don't speak up on what really happened, or if I don't speak on my own behalf, like, most people don't care. They just want to talk about the drama. They just want the gossip. I don't want to give you no gossip. I feel like gossip is too much to keep up with anyway. And then when the wrong person know that it's gossip, speak up or try to check you, what you gonna say? What you gonna do? You gonna fight them? When in reality, they're gonna be justified for tearing you off a new one. And what you gonna say? Well, they beat me up, and I didn't even know why. Or no, reality, because you lying. In most cases, you probably know it was a lie. And you want to entertain it. I ain't here to entertain a bunch of lies. As I said before, it's the truth for my son. And some people say, well, Chubb, why you name it that? Because my son is lying too. Never thought I would say that. My son is lying too. And that's the part that make me say, I gotta speak up, bro. I just can't sit here and lay down and just keep letting these people try to throw dirt on my name or try to destroy my character. When in reality, they the criminals, they the scam artists, they the culprits, they the people that's making up all this falsified information and these falsified narratives. I've been literally just trying to live my life to the best of my ability while I'm already surviving a motorcycle accident that killed me 3 times in one night. That's what make my situation so crazy to me, because I'm already hurt. These people try to kick me while I was down. Like, I wasn't just down. Like, I was all the way down. When you see these scars on my arm and my legs, but I'm still in pain. That's why I'm wearing this back brace right now. But these people who claim to be your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your auntie, sometimes they ain't really nothing to you. Once their feelings get involved, or once somebody make them feel some type of way, or it be their own programming where people have now told them, you do it like this, you don't do it like that. When my mama said I shouldn't do this, I should do it like that. When my daddy said I shouldn't do this, you should do it like that. When in reality, they were already taught something wrong. Or they knew it was wrong and just taught you what to do. And you still going by these old rules. I'm grateful I was able to think for myself. I'm so grateful. Because when you go back and you start paying attention to all of these things that I'm addressing, it's because of the programming and people behavior. All I've been trying to address from the beginning of this. People behavior, bro. It ain't necessarily just about what happened and how it happened. You see how these people act? You see how they move? Don't be surprised when that same person that I'm talking about gets you. Don't be surprised when somebody like that move on you and you be like, man, is this what Chubb been talking about? Man. Because how many times you done had somebody you done gave too much strength to try to give them a helping hand and they say, give me. And you like, whoa, whoa, where's all this coming from? Whoa, whoa, whoa. In reality, they've been playing the role the whole time. You just didn't know it. Because I'm telling y'all my story because that's 15 years. 15 years I can't get back. That's a whole fatherhood gone. That's in reality 18 years of a whole lot of nonsense that I really feel was unnecessary to my situation when I was already hurt, still hurt. Y'all don't care. They don't care. These people don't care. They just want what they felt they could get out the situation, whether it's money, house, car, time, effort, whatever. Question is, what you gonna do to protect yourself? See, this is the part that nobody really want to address or talk about. So I'm going to do it. And this is why I chose to tell my story. Because how many people who done been manipulated or hurt or put in a situation by a family member and they don't know why or understand how, and then next thing you know, you go into jail for something they did, or somebody touch you or take advantage of you in a way that you don't understand sexually, and it's supposed to be your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna react to that? How you supposed to respond to that when all the people around you saying, shh, don't tell nobody what happened. Don't care. Don't you tell nobody what happened to you, because I don't want nobody to know what happened, because that gonna bring shame on us. Us? It happened to me. It ain't happened to you. It ain't happened to her. It happened to me. That's why when I first started this and I got that whoosh of energy and I felt all of these women who had to tell their little stories, I wouldn't even say little stories, they have to tell their story, their shameful story of what happened to them because this person touched them, hurt them, or did something weird to them, and they don't know who to talk to. Men do that too. Men go through that too. It ain't just women. So when a man try to speak up, it's like, he's soft, he this, he that. No, bro, sometimes some people be like, help. I don't know how to ask for help because I'm supposed to be the tough guy. I'm supposed to be that rough and tough dude. I'm supposed to be the man out here to take care of the family. But it's like when you got the world all against you and you don't know what you're doing or what the next step is, who do you ask for help? And I had to learn nobody. If you don't do it for you, who gonna do it for you? Nobody. And that's when I had to learn to talk to God a whole lot. I had to learn to talk to God a whole lot. You know, last time I've been invited to a family venue, my little brother, one of the twins, his child, I think that's his only child. And I have to say I think because, once again, I don't communicate with my family like that. And it ain't my fault. We all know who fault it really is. But to say to all my family members who don't know why I haven't been at family reunions, hey cousins, hey y'all. The reason why I ain't been there because your auntie, your cousin, your sister wanted to hide her own child so much she didn't want nobody to know the truth about why she was stealing money from her son and her grandson. So instead of telling the truth, you try to sweep it under the rug and tell everybody something else happened. Or he did something to you. When in reality, I did nothing. You know what I did do? I was trying to figure out why. What did I do to you to make you do this to me? And I know that go through a lot of people's mind. And that's why I tell y'all, record everything. Keep up with everything. Because if you don't do it, oh man, you could be sitting there looking dumbstruck in their awe when they sit there and lie to you about what they telling the police, what they telling DSS, what they telling all these different people about you. And you know it ain't true. You know it ain't true. They know it ain't true. You know who don't know it ain't true? The police, the court system, the people at the DSS office. You may know it's not true. Them people don't know. They just going off what report has been told or what's been brought to them. Which is why we're going to go to the flash drive today. We're going to go to the flash drive today. And as I was sitting here showcasing just a little bit over the past couple months, since July, I have been showcasing work that I had to do to protect my freedom that most of y'all probably had no idea that I was going through until I started speaking up. And some of y'all knew what was up, but was telling me, oh, well, you know, that between you and your mama, you know, just try to, just don't get all out there. You ain't got to tell everybody your business. Listen, it been too much people in my business in the first place. Okay? You see how many people I just had to call out in the last couple months that got statements and even fake statements against me? Which is why I started calling names last week. Mr. Leon Casey, Mr. William Rivers, Mr. Antoine Romario Rivers, all these different people making fake statements and false claims against me because of something my mama started. You'd be like, Chubb, ain't no way all that happened like that. But it did. And I got proof. And a little bit of that proof today. We're going to go back just a little bit. Just a little bit. You see, like today, I want to address just a little bit what I had to go through from 2013 going to 2014. But I really had to see that my child is trying to get close to me. And I have to find 5-year-old mini me and literally try to get him out that house because that's who I remember next to me. My mini me, yeah, like being over there. Yeah, you building it now. Watch out for the bad guys. No, he got you. Big man got you. He got you. You like being over there, D? You like being with mama them? Granny them? You like being with granny them? You happy with daddy now? Daddy happy. He said, no, I don't want to be over there. No, I want to be with you. Yes. He's so focused on the game, but he know what daddy's saying to him. But then we ain't even got to just go off this video. We can go to this one right here where he expressing himself, right? This way he expressing himself. What? What you said mom them got over there? What granny got at her house? Roaches. Got roaches? Them big roaches? Yeah, the big roaches and the little roaches. Yeah, see, that's why daddy need to get out there. Daddy don't want you in there. See, that's why daddy ain't got no roaches here. They ain't come. Y'all see all my stuff back there in that background? You see all that? Because I got evicted from my mother's home for asking too many questions. Why are you taking my child to my baby mama house when we just had this court order to say that she only got phone visitation? Why are you being real weird about what you're doing with my vehicle right now? Why are you hiding my keys? Why are you hiding my tags? Why is the pastor involved? The same pastor that wrote a statement against me. But see, what y'all don't know, this the same pastor that sat down with me and had a mediated conversation. And some of y'all heard this conversation. You know the conversation that Lula May was running around telling people I was being disrespectful. He being disrespectful, you don't hear him? Yeah, they hear me. But they heard exactly what I heard. Me asking questions of what are you doing with my child and why are you acting like this? You can't tell nobody the truth, though. You know why? Because you stealing. You stealing. You know what I'm saying? You stealing so much so that it's like, what's really going on? Like, why are you doing all this? I know why. Because you hiding when things like this happen with my son. Like, you know how many people don't know what happened this day? You see my child's face? How you got so much pull in DSS that when I show DSS people this picture of my child, these videos of my child, they don't come run up in your house. They don't come do nothing. But my child had looked like this. You see his face. You say what? Nobody took you to the doctor? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I want y'all to hear what I'm asking him again. I said, did anybody take you to the doctor? Listen. What happened again? My bike. You say what? Nobody took you to the doctor? Yeah. Okay. All they was do what? You know, what did they do to clean you up? Patch you? Put medicine on and put a bandage. That's all they did. And that's your hands and your face and all scratched. They didn't take you to the doctor at all. Make sure nothing was infected or nothing like that. But you know the thing about that? I even got the conversation in a recorded moment where me and him go to Lula Mae house and ask her what's going on. Why does his face look like this? Why you ain't take him to the doctor? Well, I was supposed to take him. And he said, no, you weren't. You got 8, 9-year-old D'Angelo arguing with his grandmother about why she ain't taking him to the doctor. I know why. She don't want them asking no questions. She don't want to lose her little money pot. I'm telling you exactly what it is, because this is what I had to live through. With 2 broken legs, a broken arm, a fractured back, a punctured lung, bruises to the brain, and then had to learn how to walk again. And I did it. Not only did I put myself through college. Did you know that? Did you know I started a business and still doing it? Which is why people out here getting tattooed by Chubb Raps, Chubb Inks, Chubb Studios. This is why we out here doing this. But you let these people tell you what's going on with me. When they tell you what? Oh, he crazy. His mind ain't right since the accident. And I'm like, wow. You know how I know this? Because my people come asking me, boy, Chubby, why your people say this? Why your people say, why your mama saying that? Why your mama say this and why your mama say that? And I'm like, what? What's the story she tell you? You're like, what do you mean, Chubb? Because you ain't the first. You aren't the first to come to me with this story. It's somebody else that always come with a different version. But when I try to address facts of why my son looked like this in her house, why? And you can't tell me you took him to the doctor? You ain't got nothing? Oh, but they get a phone call from you and they at my front door. So much so that this is why I had to keep back and forth with DSS to show them true paperwork that I'm not the culprit. These people are. Which is why I'm about to show y'all more of that. Because y'all don't understand the fight that I had to fight. So I'm going to help you understand. Only because I want to. Not because I'm trying to prove a point. I feel like I can share my own story because I have the ability to. You know how much people can't do that? You know how much people can't say what really happened? Because they don't got video, they don't got recordings, they didn't even want to put the effort in because some people feel like that's too much. That's too much to be trying to record and trying to keep track of stuff. Boy, that is too much. But you know what it is? It's a lot when you got your mama, your granny, them, and the child all trying to incriminate you with fake phones and all kind of recording devices. My son had a recording watch, and I still got it. Still got the watch. Matter of fact, let me show you better than I can tell you. Okay? When I tell you the amount of stuff that I have to keep up with to make sure y'all know that this is what it is crazy. Okay? This is crazy. All down to screenshots of all the emails. You know why? Because if I don't got physical paperwork, or if I don't got physical forms of these things, some people not going to take it. They're not going to take it. Okay? See this? I have to keep up with this. Because if I don't, boy, Chubb, you lying. Ain't no way, yeah, Lula. I know you watching me, so you know what phone this is. This the one you gave to my son. This the second phone. This ain't even the first one, right? Hold up. Is this the watch? Is this the little recording watch? Hold up. Is it charged? Because guess what? You can literally hear my son on this little thing hyping himself up. All because I told him to wash the dishes. No. After he been playing Xbox all night and I wake him up 2 o'clock in the afternoon to wash dishes. You get on this little thing and say, all he do is make me want to be a little slave around here. For real, son? For real? That's all I do? It ain't been no problem when you had the indoor basketball court and you had all access to all these video games and doing X, Y, and Z, right? But all I do, boy, after all I did, I'm surprised you took it this far. But this goes to show me how far some people mental manipulation can go. Because in reality, if they told you the truth, like they say they did, well, you'd look at me as a hero. Because getting to the facts, just off that little bit, come next week, I'm going to give y'all a whole lot. Because what y'all don't know, what you're learning now, this coming around the anniversary of when all this started for me. And to be in a position to where I watch my son get pulled from me, not just from my mother, from her husband and my little sister. And I can't blame her because she didn't understand what she was dealing with. She didn't understand why her mama had her smuggling her nephew out of her big brother car into another vehicle. What? I know why. Because she was already doing some devious stuff behind all our backs. So much so that she took my car. to try to make me submit. She took my child to try to keep money in her house. She did everything in her power to destroy my character so nobody would believe anything I'm saying right now. Which is why God showed me long time ago, you gotta record, son. You gotta copy, document. You gonna have to play her sick little game against her and let the world see the truth. Because if they don't, it's always gonna be your word against hers. So when I take you back to this moment of 2013, listen real close to this. 2012 New Year's Eve, right? Listen close. Ready? I know you don't want Daddy to go, alright? Daddy gotta mix some things up, alright?
We'll meet him tomorrow at McDonald's.
Why you say no?
I wanna go too.
You wanna go with me? I'll be alright. So Daddy gonna get you ready right now, alright? Okay? Daddy gonna go ahead and go ahead back to where he gotta go. Huh?
I want to get there.
You what?
I want to really get there.
You wanna bring your game? Or you wanna play the game with me? Okay. So you telling me you can't hear my son saying, I won't go with you? But then you also hear my mother, his grandmother, my biological mother saying, we'll meet him at McDonald's. Why? This is New Year's Eve 2012 when I just showed the original custody order of 2012 from June 12, 2012. Why am I now fighting for custody 6 months later after I just won custody? Why? I never know somebody's greed would really go that far until I was in the middle of it. So when I do show these other videos of these people who have made false statements, play these recordings, don't be like, man, Chubb, you ain't got to do all that. Man, listen, I got to because they ain't had to do what they did to me. Y'all ain't just cheat me out of an era of my life. Y'all took my child. Y'all took my ability to be a father, and I fought for that. And won twice. Still can't be a daddy? The simple act of being a father to my child, my son, not somebody else's son, not somebody else's daughter, mine. You can say, well, how you know? That's a funny story too. I find out that he was officially mine after I had to get a DNA test because my baby mama them playing this identity game on who gonna get food stamps while she in jail. I know this because I get served with papers while my son is in my home saying, Mr. Brown, you got to come to court for child support. What? Why? I got my son. I've been taking care of my son. At this time, it's like 4 months in, 5 months in. Why am I getting served with Social Security? Why am I getting child support papers? What's up? The child mother trying to get food stamps. How is she in jail? Make it make sense, officer. You know what this lady said to me? Never forget it. She said, say what? Because this is how it played out. Here you go, sir. What's this? Oh, you just been served for Child support. Child support? I opened the door and I said, how can I get served with child support? And I said, when I got my son right here, and you see him holding on my leg, looking at this lady through the door, you know what she said? Huh, this could be a good one. You have a nice day, sir, and walked off. I was like, oh, for real? But it's happening like, but it's my life? Ain't no way, bro. Mama, look, did you know, them boy just served me with child support papers. Do you know I got D? Oh, no. Oh, and here she come with her ranting and raving. All right, cool. I go to the courthouse, tell them what's going on. They drop the case. But I'm like, but y'all not paying attention to what really just happened. How is she filing for stuff when she in jail? Okay. But it was cool for y'all to come bring the paperwork to my front door when I with my child at home. And I'm hurt, right? Y'all ain't care about none of that. All right. Which is why I don't care what I tell my own story about how y'all feel and what y'all think about me. You know why? Because I know I did what was right for me and mine. And some. You heard my same mother's child on that conversation talk about how much she commend me or condemn me, where in reality is commend. In reality, like, how are you trying to give me props for being a father when you still doing all this underlying stuff to try to keep me from being a father? Like, that's the stuff that don't make sense. Don't say one thing and do another. Because I know so many men out here who don't get no real accolades, recognition, or even respect from their own kids because of the lies that their mother, grandmother, family member, or whoever has been telling. And what these mothers don't know is you ain't got to lie. Your kid gonna still look at you as a mother. But when they know you lying, that's when they lose respect. That's when they learn to lose love. Because before, they accept you for who you are because they felt you were being honest. But when they find out that you was the real culprit behind why they couldn't see their parent, or why they couldn't be on the other side of the family, or why things didn't work out the way they assumed it should have, don't go crying to the outside world. I don't know why my child hates me. I don't know why they acting like this. You know why. You just don't want to tell the truth. I'm telling mine. I'm a survivor of a motorcycle accident that happened May 8th, 2007. I died 3 times that night. I seen the other side. I had a talk with God at the Tree of Life. I had a talk with Yeshua, Jesus, whatever you want to call him. But that person is the same person for a lot of people, just with a bunch of different names. I mention this because God showed me a lot, but also I felt like that was more preparing me for what was to come, which is why I'm here now, telling my own story. Because there's so many people who will never get the opportunity to do so. They'll never get the opportunity to speak up and say, hey, I just want to let my child know I here for you, I care for you. You know, I was trying to do the right thing by you, but it wasn't me. There were other forces at work. In my own case, I sat down and told my child these things. My biggest issue was the manipulation of my mother. Because when my mother tells my child to lie to his father, you don't care how much like strain or misunderstanding that really puts on a child's mind. Because if his grandmother is telling him to lie to his father, then maybe he starts to feel it's okay to lie to her too, right? Or not just to his father, to anybody. Because if you don't have no sense of authority, you don't care about nothing. And I watched it happen. Not just through my son, but through other people's kids. Trial and error through watching other people's mistakes. Some people don't care about that. I do. I got enough problems. I don't need no more. Maybe you don't need no more neither, which is why I'm telling you what happened to me, so you're not in a similar situation. Who can honestly say they won custody twice? Who could even say they won custody? That's not easy, especially as a black man in the state of South Carolina. No, it's not easy. It's not because I knew people. It's not because, like I was trying to be manipulative. No, I had to make sure I had everything in order so they could say, okay, he's okay to go with the daddy. And I did that. I did that. I did that 5, 10-fold, even with a hurt body. But who really seen it? Who care to hear about it? People love to see when people being successful, right? Or they being productive. Nobody likes to talk about the sad stuff. I don't like talking about the sad stuff neither. But as I said, I gotta talk about it. Because if not, somebody out there gonna run into the same problem and say, why me? When in reality, it's not you. It's them. Plain and simple. It's not you. It's them. Because I was like that. I was screaming, why me? What did I do to deserve this? What did I do to them? I was trying to be a good son. I was trying to be her peace. What made her do this to me? And I'm like, hold up. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing to her. In reality, she was stealing from me and still charging me while I'm in her house, while manipulating my situation. But then I start rewinding stuff. Was like, oh, that's why she wouldn't let me take my car out her name. That was a tool. She was going to use that as a way to make me shut up and sit down. That's materialistic stuff. I can get another car. I can get another vehicle. I can put new rims on the truck. I can't get another fucking son. Excuse my French. I can't get 18 years back. The last I checked, they ain't letting everybody play with a time machine. So you ask yourself, if you was in my shoes, how would you move? I choose not to lay down and let nobody put their foot on my neck. Because that's what they wanted. They wanted me to be okay with them taking from me. Because the last thing I'm going to share with y'all before I get off here is that phone call I got. February 2012. Excuse me, 2013. 3 months after I got my son back out of Lulamit clutches. And they had this custody order / police order that they had sent to the Span Elementary, which was fake. You know why? Because I went in there with the original custody order to pull my son out of school. All because she went to the school and told them, if he come up here, call me and call the police, because he don't have no custody of his child. What? Why would you tell these people that? Why? Because last I checked, I was the one fighting for custody of my son. I'm named the biological father of the child in this court order. Not you. You the grandmama. But why you telling everybody you got more power than me? Because of the motorcycle accident? That's not enough grounds. Because I'm not mentally unstable. But this is what you're telling people. Just enough to make them feel like, oh, well, maybe she telling the truth. Nah, she lying to all y'all. And I mean all y'all, anybody who watching this, who know who I am, who know who she is, who know who they are. They lying. And you hearing it from me now. For the last 15 years, I ain't been saying nothing because I felt I didn't have nothing to really say about it. Long as my son knew the truth, I was cool, right? That's how most men feel. Long as my child know what's up, I'm all right. Fuck with the real thing. But when my child start lying, and you playing into these same little sick little games with these people, when I can show the world a police report of him lying to, the same day he get expelled from school is the same day you making a false police report against your father. But that's deep. That's real deep. How do you react to that? How do you move to that? Because you pass a belt. You ain't pass a belt, but you ain't get no belt, bro. Like, I know people who would lose their mind if their child was to even perpetrate or act like they about to jump hands or do something crazy to them. My child did way more than that. And I kept trying to give him a pass. But see, I passed all that now. That's why he's speaking up. He know where I at. He know exactly where I at mentally with all this. So stay where you at, son. Same way I keep my distance on you, keep your distance on me. You gotta figure this out for yourself now. Because too much has happened. Way too much has happened. For me to sit here and see all of this falsified stuff. And just be like, bro. Like, you ain't just tried here, you went hard, boy. You even went to Florida, told these people all kind of wild stuff. He got a gun. He got weed. He got all that stuff in the house. My gun registered. Weed is legal in Florida. I still got my green card with my face and my address on it, sir. This is why I do everything the right way. Because of people like you. But not because of people like you. More because of people like your granny. Because that's who I watched growing up. That's how I learned how to combat all of this. Because I saw her doing this to others before she did it to me. But when I see my child doing stuff like this, and I have to go all the way to these people's stuff and go get information. Well, I ain't got just referral forms. I got police reports. And that's all I'm doing is pulling up this one police report. Because last I checked, in the state of South Carolina, using a belt is not illegal. It's called cordial punishment, right? But when I got this much police reports concerning me and my child, I feel that's embarrassing. I really do. You know, like this is crazy to me. I shouldn't have this much stuff going on with me and my child. Because we weren't like that before 1 to 5. You feel me? We weren't like that. But let's get to this December moment right here. Because this is the police report where he's telling these people, oh no, this ain't that police report. This is another police report. This is a police report where somebody supposedly threw a dishwashing liquid bottle at him because he on social media telling people he peeing on people's graves and stuff. I'm like, what? But hold up, this is what you out here doing. You lying to people about what happened because this is the police report right here. This the one. All I'm doing is pulling it up so you can see. It's the runaway report. I need the one. Oh no, this is the one where he claimed he lucky I didn't have my gun. Right? There's so much people involved with this situation. And I think this the one that they actually threw out. I gotta double check, make sure it's on her. But they threw that bad boy out because I was able to prove that everything he was saying was false. Look at all these damn pages in this police report, bro. It's so much stuff. Like, so much stuff. And also, it's deeper than just police reports. I got plenty of body cam footage and everything right here. It's all right here. I can show you inside the car when they get the call and everything. That's my truck right there. You got all these other people who ain't even be supposed to be there out there. So when people tell you I ain't got it, I got it. And who that is but me and my son on the ground right here trying to fight. But we gonna get to that later. As I said before, I try to keep these under an hour so that way I can make sure it get posted properly on all channels. And that's gonna be the end of the truth for my son for the day. So my last closing words on this is, are you gonna let those who act like they family, supposedly be relatives, or anybody who claim they for you, abuse you because of who they are to you? I'm not. I was never for that. Especially for somebody to be taking half of my income for over 3 years and then steal my son and evict me from their home. Also, they can keep perpetrating a crime of money that ain't even meant for them. Because my biggest argument with that person was, why you ain't spending his money on him? Why you not spending that money on the child? So now you ask yourself, what you gonna do in a situation like that? Chubb out.